Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel The IIT Encoder. In the last video I actually set up this network manager, and if you have followed the tutorials both carefully, you would have all the details about the network manager as well as ML API. So let's get started. This is a 2D project, but you can do the same thing with 3D project. Nothing changes, as if you have an experience in Unity, you know that in-depth 2D and 3D projects are just the same, except the fact of some things, and those some things don't include MLAPI networking at all. So for this, let's make a simple uh, okay, let's create a 2D object sprites. Let's create a square. Let's create it player. So this will be a player. I'm actually creating this square because in the end we will be using this player to make an actual game which will work over the network. So, okay, instead of this being a square, let's make it a circle. Better. Let's make it a circle and let's name it player. If you guys have played Red Ball 4 by any chance, you could be relating. So, let's color this as red just to make it interesting. And that is a red square for us. Let's increase the size. Okay, so now what we have on a screen is a red player. We know that it is a player, you know that it is a player, but how does Unity know that it is a player? So what we need to do is, in order to sync its movement over the networks, we have to add a network object and a network transform. So first we will add a network object. What network object does is, every object that has to be spawned or moved or taken a note of by ML API has to have a network object script which assigns this object a unique ID, as you can see here, the hash, and prefab hash generator is basically its name, script is network object, and these two are properties we don't need to deal with right now. Don't destroy with owner is basically a property that can be used to keep the object in the game even after its owner or the client lo- leaves the game. So suppose you're playing a four-person game and suppose one of the persons leave the game. Still, if this property is ticked, then that person's player will still remain in the game, waiting for him to rejoin. That's what happens in any game like PUBG or anything, right? When you disconnect and if you reconnect in time, your player can be there, and if there is no one around to do the damage, your player will survive. But if there was someone, then your player will die. So basically your player stays in the game at the server, managed by the server. So after we have added the network object script, let's add a network transform script. So what does this network transform do? So network transform actually just syncs the player's movement over the server and in between different clients. So wherever you see this circle on the screen, it will be the same thing visible to another client, though this player is ours. And when we move it here and there, the other player or the other person will also see it moving here and there on his screen due to this network transform script. So let's get into details of how this network transform script functions. So there are various properties that you can customize. We will deal with them only on a very above thing. We will look into the details later as our videos progress and our course progresses. So the main things here are interpolate position, which actually is interpolation concept which can be explained later, what it does is actually it accounts for the lag and jitter that your server and the client actually have when they connect to each other, and this is used to actually predict the position of where the object would have been and where it is actually to make a smooth movement. You need to customize this a lot to get to the correct values. Then there is actually extrapolate position, which is another aspect just like interpolation but a bit different. So you can actually choose to extrapolate the position or interpolate server or both actually. And then there is the fixed cents per second. This is how many times per second is the what do you call is the position synced between the server and the client. So okay, let's make it into a prefab because that's what network object requires. So we have made it into a prefab. Now let's delete it from the scene because we don't need it anymore. We have already made it a prefab. Deleted. So let's save it. Let's try to customize the network manager. We will add this network prefab. We will drag and drop a player and kaboom, we will add the default player prefab here. And now let's click on play button and let's see what happens. There is no network prefab marked as player prefab. Okay. Uh, there was an error. No, there is no error. It was the previous error. So let's start the host. As you can see, the player got spawned as soon as we got click host. So what is actually host? Host is it starts a server and it actually starts a client also on the same device and it connects to it. So it's like you are hosting the game and you are also a player in the game. As you can see, when I click on stop host, the player vanishes. If I click on start server, the player doesn't spawn because we are only currently managing the server. If I click on start client, no, I cannot do that because no one is hosting the game other than us. So this was all about the player. So let us add a small script to the player to actually make it move. So let's go to the player. Let's make our own script. We can actually take it off the net on documents.unity.com, but let's create our own script called movement script, or let's call it player.cs. Create and add. So let's see what the script will actually do. uh, I'm assuming that you are full-fledged know Unity, but if you don't, this would be a simple script and I will be teaching you what actually the script functions. So what do we do is we will create some variables. So okay, so first we will create a variable called public float speed equal to 10. So this will be actually 10f. So this will be actually the speed of the player that we will be using. So void start has nothing. So next will be, so okay, just give me a second. So we forgot to add one thing here. We will actually go to Unity. Actually, we will need to add a lot of things. We will need to add a collider and other things. So let's make it simple for now. We will add a rigid body component to it. So rigid body 2D. Gravity won't be simulated, so gravity scale is 0, and the rest is fine, I guess. So now we will go to a script. We will write private rigid body 2D RB. So now RB will be equal to get component rigid body 2D. rigid body 2D, and we will just write rb dot add or rb dot velocity is equal to new vector 2 of, let's say, speed comma 0, and let's see if this works. So as you can see, we have this player here with the speed 10. So let's play. If we play a player when we start host, so when we start the host, a player is spawning and it is going right. So the script is working. So now let us customize the script further. We will need to key map, key bind our movements. So let's do that. So if input dot get key down, or let's say input dot get key d, then we do this. This is just a simple script. You can actually customize your own script. This is the most basic script I could think of, which will be easy to explain because it is self-explanatory. If input dot key w, we add a force to, else if input dot get key a, we add a force somewhere else. We add a velocity actually. Else if input dot get key s, else. So these are all the mappings. Now we will actually do copy, and then in a, so it will be vector 2 minus speed, because we will actually go in negative x. This will be 0 comma speed, and then this will be 0 comma minus speed, because we actually need to go down. So 0 comma minus speed, and this will be 0 comma 0 because we actually wanted to stop if no key is pressed. So let's save the script. Let's go to back to MLPI. We will have the script updated here. Let's click on play and let's see what happens. Hope our hard works bear the fruit, and they will, because MLAPI is complicated, but once you learn it, it's very well sold and very easy. Okay, so let's start the host. Start host. Here is a player. Let's try to move it. So as you can see, WASD, I can actually move it anywhere I want. It's very easy to move, and I can't show you my keys currently, but as you can see, I am moving it in any direction randomly. So our script is working and the network. Okay, I need to actually build it and show you that. Okay, for that I will have to for that you will have to actually wait to see in another video. For now, let's take a bit, and in the next video we will see how we can actually debug this code. Not actually debug, but actually how we can run two projects simultaneously, which will help us to debug our multiplayer applications and connect and host easily on each of them. So we will see to that in the next video. For now, you can enjoy this player's movement. So hope you like the video. Please do like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching this playlist. If you have any doubts, do leave them in the comment section, or if you don't want to leave them in the comment section, you can actually mail me at the iitncoder@gmail.com. Do hit the subscribe button.